Hello, my name is Jenna Spalding, and today I'm going to be talking about the life of Robert Brown, his early life, his family, his education, his achievements, and how he really made an impact on the world of science. Robert Brown was born on December 21st in 1773 in Montrose, Scotland. Here's a beautiful picture of what it looks like. He was born to James Brown, a Scottish priest, and Helen Brown, who was a daughter of a Presbyterian minister. He was a Scottish botanist who was well known for his descriptions of cell nuclei and Brownian motion, which is the continuous motion of minute particles in a solution. He also discovered the basic difference between gymnosperms and angiosperms and contributed to plant taxonomy by founding and classifying new families and species. His original study of the flora in Australia, on the flora of Australia in particular, contributed greatly to the understanding of plant form, embryology, and biogeography. Robert went to Marischal College in Aberdeen and Montrose Academy, which was a grammar school. Brown's family moved to Edinburgh when he was 17, and he ended up having to drop out in his 4th year. That following year, his father sadly died. Brown went to the University of Aberdeen and the University of Edinburgh to study medicine. Brown was a truly remarkable man with several achievements, especially within his career. And as stated above, he went to school at the universities of Aberdeen and Edinburgh, and also served in the British Army as an ensign and assistant surgeon in Ireland from 1995 to 1800. So now I want to talk about his botanical studies. Brown developed an interest in botany and went on collecting and studying plant expeditions in the Scottish Highlands. He researched and produced thorough botanical descriptions of the plants he collected. His early botanical studies inspired him to start writing to British botanists such as James Dickinson, and William Withering, two pioneering British botanists at that period. Brown also brought them to plant specimens to inspect. Brown identified Alopercus alpinus, a new grass species, and in 1792, he presented his first botanical presentation to Edinburgh Natural History Society titled The Botanical History of Angus. In his lifetime, the paper was actually never published. So next, a very significant point in his life was his Australian expedition. Brown was brought to the attention of Sir Joseph Banks. Get you a better view of the slide. Who was the president of the Royal Society, on a visit to London in 1798. Brown suggested to the Admiralty for the position of naturalist on board the Investigator, a ship that was to be used on a surveying journey along Australia's northern and southern shores under the leadership of Matthew Flinders. And then they began in July 1801 and actually didn't end up making it till December of 1801, which was at the King George Sound of Western Australia. In King George Sound, there was a great deal of flora diversity. Brown collected a large number of plant specimens on this voyage. Next, I want to talk about his major discoveries and what really proves him as what he brought to the world of science. So first one being Brownian motion, which Brown wrote a brief account of microscopical findings in 1828, detailing his observations of the rapid oscillatory motion of several tiny particles. He noted that after detecting moving particles suspended along living pollen grains of Clarkia pulchella, he investigated both living and dead pollen grains of many other plants and noticed a comparable motion in all of them. Brown then tried organic and inorganic chemicals that had been reduced to a fine powder and suspended in water. His research established random movement as a general attribute of matter in that condition, as well as the phenomenon of random movement. So these little particles were called amyloplasts, and it was a great find. So the definition of Brownian motion is a universal feature of matter that reveals the random rhythmic movement of particles suspended in fluid and named after his discovery. So next is the nucleus. He utilized the microscope a lot in his studies to look at plant specimens. Brown exhibited a remarkable capacity to generate conclusions from limited evidence. He developed the name nucleus of the cell in 1831 after discovering the existence of structure within plant cells while studying plants. He wasn't the first to see a cell's nucleus, but he was the first to come up with the name nucleus, which is pretty iconic. Now let's talk about his awards and legacy that he carried out. In 1810, Brown was elected to the Royal Society as a fellow. For 4 years, he served as a president of the Linnean Society, 1849 to 1853. He had 2 Australian plant species named after him, which was Brown's box and Brown's banksia, which are very hard names to pronounce. And then Brown was the first keeper of the Botanical Department of Natural History Department at the British Museum. He stayed in this position until June 10th, 1858, when he sadly died at the age of 84. So here are my references, and thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.